if it's any form of Godfall, I'm resigning from the show.
Oh
Oh god, I don't know. If it is on Xbox, I will literally spend the £100 or whatever it is to buy the deluxe edition digital. I'm not retiring from the show. Just Kyle hosting it. Hey guys, welcome to the HGO podcast. I still haven't played a new game, so see you next week.
Yo, we can finally launch Quarter Circle Forward.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the HGO podcast. I'm Ethan, and joining me, as always, are my good friends Hunter and Kyle. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hi, yeah.
I'm doing just swell.
Can you believe
Back
it?
down to 3.
Yeah, back down to 3. You had your arc, you had your guest arc. Welcome back to the tragedy. Can you believe that E3, not E3, Key 3? I'm going to call it Key 3.
Oh my god.
It snuck up out of nowhere, dude.
That's a
We
good
literally, the one state of play where we're like, you know, guys, state of plays, they're usually absolutely tragic. Let's just skip it.
I remember the last one. Capcom and Square Enix showed up with not Dino Crisis and Triangle Strategy again.
Like, I just don't get it. Like, state of play was good. Like, none of us saw it coming. And I love it. Hunter messaged right away. As soon as Resident Evil 4 was, he was like, we've made a mistake. We've made an error. And I'm like, it's too late now. It's too late now. No reaction, Andy and
Yeah, it was too late. I was already like, the video had started. I was chilling out on my bed, just laying down while I watched it. So if reactions weren't going to happen.
Dude, I was in a PlayStation party with a couple of friends, and they were just hearing me go, because I was like, I've got to do my job real quick, be right back. So I was just watching Twitch on the PlayStation app, and they were like, keep us updated. I'm like, okay, Resi 4, okay, Resi 8, okay, any more Resis? I know there's like another 6 to go through. Like, I was like, geez, when's the Resident Evil section going to end? Never, apparently. But it's all good. It's all good. But no, welcome back to the show, everybody, where for once we're going to act like a gaming podcast, and it's time to do what every generic video game podcast does at this time of year. It's time for review, predictions, and bets on the upcoming Key 3 presentations, from Summer Game Mess to Xbox has a piss about with Phil Spencer and Bethesda, I guess. How long do you think they're going to keep Bethesda in the name of that, realistically, Hunter? When do you think they're going to pretend?
I think Bethesda gets one more year of having their name next to it, and then they're like,
I think it's until
"You've served your
Activision
time."
shows up, and then it's like, congratulations, Bethesda, you're now Xbox, and it's going to be called Xbox and Activision Presents for 2 years until they're also pushed into the Xbox brand. But no, we're going to do what we did last year, because you guys liked it so much. We're going to do some predictions. We're going to do some reviews already, I guess, because Sony's already shown up. And then afterwards, we're going to we've already copied off gaming podcasts enough. We're now going to copy betting off of other podcasts, where I've come up with some stupid bets. We're going to have some fake bullshit money, and we're just going to have some fun putting some bets down. Because as everyone knows, Kyle plays about 3 games a year, so I thought it'd be easier if we brought the predictions to Kyle than Kyle bring the predictions to us. So hey.
This really helps me because I did nothing this week to prepare.
And I did hours of work. What's happened? It's like, what's happened? We're in an alternate timeline where I actually prepared for a podcast.
It's like one of us is still in work.
Yeah, it's true. It's
Yeah.
true. Hey,
I did mine on my break.
God save
Hunter,
the
shut up.
queen.
No one
God
cares. No
save
one
the
asked.
queen for those 2 days off. People are like, are you a fan of the Royals? Not really, but hey, 2 days off. Thank you.
Oh,
Salud.
you got 2 days off? Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone in the UK gets 2 days off, except for people that didn't. And if anything, they're the real winners, because they got paid. They got extra pay because they got bank holiday pay for it. So they're the real winners, let's be real. So let's start with State of Play. We're going to talk about State of Play, give our reviews, and then we'll get into all the other predictions and stuff like that. So if you came for the predictions, timestamps in the bottom, go over to them. But if you want to hear about us talk about Final Fantasy, talk about Resident Evil, and more importantly, you want to keep our attention up, stick around. It's going to be good. I swear. It'll be a good one. I feel this is weird. I don't think we've not done like a newsy kind of relevant podcast episode this entire season.
A month and a half,
Yeah.
at least.
I don't think we have this entire season, have we? We talked about Xenoblade 3, but it's like, I feel like in terms of like just going, hey guys, welcome back to the news. We haven't done this in like, what I feel is like
that was
months.
Kingdom Hearts episode where we just like lost our minds for a
But it's just
minute.
like we just love chatting shit about Kingdom Hearts, dude.
Yeah.
Literally, Nomura literally crawls out for a second. We're like, ha ha ha, time to chat shit for an hour and a half. Ha ha, he breathed. Fucker breathed. Podcast episode.
Where's versus 13?
Yeah, where's versus 13? Nomura, where is it? Where's Baron Rex? We didn't want KH4. Anyway. Let's get started then. So, PlayStation State of Play showed up for the first time ever, which means we can now abolish our rule of State of Plays mean nothing, wait for the showcases, because I guess State of Plays also means something now. So,
I still feel like the next couple are probably gonna suck anyway.
September event is the one where I'm still most excited for, because that's still the one that's the potential Sly Cooper one, where that's when Ethan wins and 2022 can royally fuck off as soon as I know a new Sly Cooper's coming, dude, because then I've got something to live for that isn't Persona 6 that'll be 6 years away. So, it's like, I need something, Hunter. But let's start. Let's get overall thoughts, overall feedback. What did you think of this State of Play? Because it's obviously the best State of Play that they've ever done.
That's not a very high bar, but it's a
pretty
good showcase anyway, I'd say. Like, I was interested in most of the games that they showed here in some capacity.
Yeah.
The thing is, I said this to Kyle, and it's like, when you have those good directs where there's nothing that you're really interested in, but you respect that it's a good direct because you're like, no, that's a quality game, that's a quality game. This was that to me, because it's like, yeah, I'll play Stray because it's at no extra cost to me because I have PS Plus, whatever it's called, triple S tier, whatever. And then it's like, I will play Final Fantasy 16 because Nomura's got me on the wild ride that I'll pick up a new one and see what an actual Final Fantasy is like. That isn't a remake that's going to take 26 years to finish. And it's like, there was those two things, but it's like Resident Evil. I don't really care about Resident Evil, but also, it's cool that we finally get to see this stuff and people get to be horny in VR, it's like, there's all this cool stuff, and then VR stuff is interesting. Street Fighter, we'll get into it all. But I was like, it's a solid showing, even if you weren't into it. I don't think there's a real excuse to say it was garbage, even if you weren't into any of the games, because they did bring some heavy hitters that I was expecting some of these would be in Game Mess. Yeah, Kyle, do you have anything to add?
For sure. Like, Street Fighter 6 only got announced like a month ago, and they've already started showing gameplay for it, which I thought was pretty cool.
They also changed the logo, which is good.
Makes it impossible to read. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It also, did you see the massive Street Fighter leaks? I don't think we're going to talk about it this
where they like showed
week, but
the roster or whatever.
Everything's been leaked for Street Fighter 6 now. Like, we know the entire roster, which is kind of unfortunate.
That's so unfortunate.
It's unfortunate, but it's also a world where I'm like, I've seen people bring this up, and I feel that's a good point. Street Fighter isn't Smash in a way where it's like the reveals are everything, because Street Fighter 6 is still going to be a fucking great game when it comes out, right? It's still going to be a fantastic game. So it does kill some of the momentum, but also there's still no reason to not be hyped because Street Fighter's a once in a generation
game. To be fair to that, a lot of those designs, if they are like the final designs, look really cool.
Yeah, it would have been cool to have the redesigns get shown. But
yeah, I don't know, and I feel like it's something to do with leak culture, right? And it's like I feel like we'll get into it. We'll start with Resident Evil because it was the first thing, but it is one of those things where it's like we already knew this was coming, and it kind of sucks because this would have been a much bigger hype moment if everybody didn't learn a year ago that RE4 remake was coming. So it's like everyone's just like, oh yeah. I was like, as soon as it showed up, I wasn't like Resi 4. I was like, oh yeah, here's Resi 4. It's here.
Yeah, that was pretty much my reaction. I'm like, oh, there's Resi 4. That's cool.
Yeah, it's coming.
Like I was expecting that, or I was expecting either that.
I didn't expect it to be the opener, but yeah.
Rather than here, when they first started on it, it was funny because it seemed like they were deliberately trying to evoke like The Last of Us with their guitar and whatnot. I'm like, wait a minute, that's a Spanish guitar, and then it made the little R outline. I'm like, oh, okay.
I love because I saw some people's reactions to that. Some people saw the art, like I saw the date, and I was instantly like, Resident Evil. That's the Resident Evil font, and only Resident Evil 4 remake would be a game that's ballsy enough to put the date first and then not tell you what the actual game is until like 5 seconds after it. But I saw people saw the R and they still thought that meant remake for Last of Us. They still thought that the R was remake, and I'm like,
I am so happy I pop out the chat for these things.
And I was like, well, to be fair, I am like The Last of Us font and Resident Evil's font, very similar fonts. I will give them that. They very much do. They are generic white
with like impact,
white impact capital letter font. But I was still like, come on, that's obviously Resident Evil, obviously.
Yeah.
So, obviously, Resident Evil 4 got announced. It's coming out next March, 24th of March to be precise. We'll have PSVR 2 content. And they have stated that it's not a direct remake of Resident Evil 4. They are going to be changing bits, especially regarding story and stuff like that. And it's mainly the Resident Evil 2 remake team on this one.
That's good to know. I feel like what they're going to do is mostly these changes will probably be to make it more consistent with the other 2 remakes we've had.
Yeah.
And probably make it more of a horror game. Because while Resident Evil 4 was, like, I feel like it was a good balance of being creepy in its own right and an action game, I feel like this one's going to lean even harder into being creepy.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's what they're planning on doing with the remakes in general, to be honest. Is doing this, trying to make them into more of a horror, kind of like a modern horror experience, I should say, rather than a horror. Because don't get me wrong, the old games were horror, right? But more of this modern kind of feeling, kind of from Resident Evil 7 onwards, kind of aesthetic and feeling. Which is interesting. Will they carry on going? That's my real question.
The pleasing notion here is if they're willing to take liberties with this one, I hope that means they're willing to just completely overhaul the next 2.
I think imagine if they genuinely did a Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6 remake where they were like, we'll take brief stuff like characters and like plot threads and just completely redo, like go to ham with it.
Completely retool it. Like just have Wesker come back and do something and then make it a game that isn't stupid.
And not volcano boulder punching.
And not a co-op shooter. That would be great.
No, definitely. But like from the looks of it, what I will say about this trailer, and it's like, this is just my personal opinion, not having played any of the Resident Evil games, is this genuinely did feel like it was a trailer that was made for Resident Evil 4 fans. And what I mean by that is there was nothing in this trailer that got me hyped for Resident Evil 4 remake, if that makes sense. Like I was just watching it, I was like, oh, it's some panoramic shots, and it's like, I'm sure these are levels that everyone's going, oh my god, it's that level. Oh my god, it's that level.
Like,
oh, it's that character. Oh, it's that.
The shot of Leon there was like the shot of his introduction where he's like gazing out the window all bored, except this time it looked like he was depressed almost.
Yeah, but there was nothing, at least in my eyes, that was like, this wasn't the trailer that was like, yo guys, you not played Resident Evil before? Come on in, let's show you why you want to fucking play this. This was more of a like, hey guys, you love this game, we love this game, here you go, we're doing it, if that makes sense.
This one did seem to be more of just like a teaser anyway. It was only like a minute or so, and so it's like, this is here, you'll see more of it later, that I imagine will probably be what is like, if you haven't played a Resident Evil game yet, get to this one.
Well, I mean, I feel like games always do this, right? We'll go back to Final Fantasy VII Remake. The first Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer was very much, hey guys, hey Final Fantasy VII fans, look, we're doing it. And everyone was like, oh my god. To me back then, I was just like, oh yeah, it's that fucking Cloud guy. Wow, 7 Remake. Cool.
He's got a big sword.
Yeah. And then 2019 E3 came around. They did the big redo. They had all the trailer and promotional stuff. I was like, fuck yes, now I'm interested. This is better than Avengers. Let's go. Like, this looks good. So no, I have faith in them. Like I say, they did a great job with 2. They did a good job with 3. I feel like they're going to do a good job with this one. It'll be interesting to see how many creative liberties they have taken, though, with it. Especially if it is going to be more of a looser interpretation, I should say, not a loose interpretation.
I feel like they do have the liberty of doing that too, because like Resident Evil 4, the original game, is easily available on modern consoles right now.
Yeah,
it's as easy to get as Skyrim.
It's also the one that's not old enough to. It's like it's modern enough for people to go back and play it now and still have an experience with it. You know, this it's obviously still clunky and still has its issues, but I feel I've had friends who have played Resident Evil 4 base and had no problem going back to it, where I feel like 1, 2, 3 were harder to get into, especially if you weren't there when they came out or you played them when you were younger. So yeah, that was definitely it. To add on to the Resident Evil hype, they announced that Resident Evil Village will be getting a full VR conversion like 7 had. But this time for PSVR 2, and the amount of people who have been making jokes about how they will not go past 2 hours in this video game and just keep replaying it on their PSVR headset. I'm like, God damn it, get a room, you horny bastards.
People keep saying that, and I'm just sitting here like, I don't have a VR headset, but if I did, I would be way more interested to experience the dollhouse part of the game in VR.
Literally, people were like, can't wait to be horny in VR, can't wait to be horny in VR. And then I saw all the replies going, yeah, but remember the baby? And then everyone's like, you know what, guys, maybe I won't. Maybe I just won't pick it up. I'm like, I don't think I can take that in VR. And I'm like, okay, you do you.
That would be the part that I'd be interested to experience. Like, I want someone to just get to that part of the game and load me a file, and I'll be like, yes. Here we go.
Yeah. It is cool, though. I do like how Resident Evil, kind of flagship horror franchise, is just... They're not doing what most people seem to do with VR, at least at the moment, where it's like, oh yeah, like Resident Evil 4 will have VR, you think, snippets, or will have probably a separate side story that'll be in VR or something along those lines. But they're just doing straight up, no, fuck it. Biohazard was literally all in VR, and 8 is now being retextured, redone in VR.
The disembodied hand thing really cracks me up in this game specifically because even Winter's hands get abused so much in those 2 games.
They need them there. They genuinely just need... That's all they need from Ethan is his hands. That's all they need for those video games. Is just his hands so they can get more.
I know I don't remember if this happens in 8, but I know in 7 he literally got it chopped off. I'm pretty sure it happened in 8 too.
I thought that was in 8 where he had his hand chopped off and then he had to rub magic ointment on it and he grew a new hand or something bullshit.
It might have happened in 8, but I know for sure it happened in 7 because I remember cracking up really hard when I played that 1 hour of 7. I was like, that was silly.
It is silly, but it's stuff like that. And then also, especially if that's coming at launch for VR2, I'm like, I'm really hoping that VR2 does have some big stuff, because it's like, I've never got into VR. I'd love to get into VR, right? But it's like, to me, and this isn't breaking the rule, I feel like a lot of VR is just horror games and quirky game demos. I feel like that's all it is. And I mean, we'll get to Horizon, but I'm like, I'd love to play Horizon, whatever it's called, of the Mountain or whatever it's called. But also, that didn't show me that it isn't just a 2-hour tech demo Horizon project thing. I'm like, I need to know more about these kinds of things. But knowing that Resident Evil, the full game, is going to be playable in VR is something where you can go, oh, that's something that I want to play, in the same way that I'm sure Half-Life Alyx was for people that wanted a Valve Index. And I'm still sitting there going, man, that'll be a huge win for PSVR 2 if they manage to get Half-Life Alyx on there, which I feel like they might, but we'll see. Anyway, they also announced some other PSVR 2 games. There's a Walking Dead game that I don't think anybody cared about.
Oh, yeah. That was the one thing that I wasn't at least passingly interested in. I'm like, man, this is just
at first I was like, yo,
game.
Dying Light? And then it was
I thought maybe it was
not Dying
Light or Dead Island or something. That was the kind of vibe it had. And I'm like, wait, no, this is even more generic.
If it was Dying Light 2, I was like, that would have been pretty sick if it was Dying Light, but no.
Oh man, Dying Light in VR would be weird because of all the parkour and stuff. That would be motion sick for days for so many people.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Oh, careful. Hunters.
Why?
Oh, here we go. Epic.
Anyway, ghost.
It's fine. It's fine. We'll roll with it. No Man's Sky getting a PSVR 2 update.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. Oh. Okay, we have some technical difficulties. Hunter's literally being sucked into the TV. It's like Persona.
Oh,
what the hell?
The VR is trying to get me.
Oh no, he's Morbin, boys. He's Morbin. Anyway, the problem we have here, guys, is if Hunter's webcam dies, Kyle dies. So it's like, oh no, we don't want to lose anyone. It's fine. We'll live with it. But No Man's Sky looked clean. Because I remember seeing original No Man's Sky in PSVR basic, and it was grainy and blurry as shit, so that looked really clean. So I'm like, oh, that's a cool update. I'm sure No Man's Sky fans will be happy with that.
Yeah.
And then we did get Horizon VR Call of the Mountain, which was interesting. When they first showed the boat, I genuinely was like, is this just a fucking boat trip? Am I just going to be sitting in a boat looking to the left and right? Is this like, it's like a Disney World ride where it's just dinosaurs
Horizon
to the right?
Adventure.
Yeah, like it's a small world, but with fucking dinosaurs everywhere. I was like, whoa, look at that dinosaur. That's epic. But no, there is gameplay. And again, it has parkour and stuff like that. I hope that doesn't make people motion sick. Again, that'll be trippy. I don't know. Yeah. What did you think of Call of the Mountain Hunter as a Horizon fan?
It looks... you see, yeah, the thing you mentioned about it being hard to gauge the scope of these kind of games for VR is the thing. Like, I imagine that obviously it's not going to be as like big as either of the mainline Horizon games, but if it's like if it's like a 4 or 5 hour game even, and that'd probably be fine, you know?
I think it will be somewhere along that line. It is interesting though, because it's like I say, we only just had Forbidden West, and it's like we've got this
trying to act out the frantic, crazy combat of Horizon, like in the first person perspective, and whatever kind of hoopla you got to do with VR, seems like it might get a little cumbersome.
And I think it will be slowed down to shit. I feel like it's going to be very slowed down, but also it's kind of what you expect. But it is, I like
very generous bullet timing.
I like it though, because it's like this is like as far as I'm aware, this is the first time that I feel that, am I correct on this, that Sony has done like a proper like, hey guys, this is like, except for like Astro and shit, which was already born from a VR kind of experience, where it's like, no, this is like one of our main franchises that we're doing a VR thing that isn't just like a tech demo. It's like its own little story in the universe. Am I wrong on that?
I think this is the first one where they're like, it's supposed to be like a proper game instead of just it has a VR thing, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think there's been a couple of those from Sony's stuff, but I can't even remember.
Like I say, there was Astro. They've done like full games before, but I'm like, until Astro's Playroom was like, you know, was its like own thing. But like, it was like, that was VR first, right? And then they did the PS5 one after the VR and stuff like that when it worked. I don't know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is just Astro was VR, now he's not. But, you know, back and forth.
He's not.
No, he's not. Now he's back in the real world with the real gamers. So yeah, that happened. Also a New Game Plus update for Horizon 2, which is nice.
Man, I would have loved to have that transmogging thing while I was playing the game.
I know, right? The amount of times I
already ignore the gear anyway to look like however I feel like, but you know, the ability to do that and also have the stats would be nice.
Yeah. New Game Plus and Ultra Hard, also nice additions. I do feel though it is weird though, because it's like I'm not gonna go back and play Horizon again, at least not for a while, unless they add DLC. And I'm
if they add a DLC, it'll be nice to maybe reap the benefits of the transmogging, and they added like a herbalist that lets you buy animal parts, so that helps.
Oh, did they?
That helps expedite the
upgrade process. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
That shit sucked. So I'm glad they added that.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice quality of life. Also, performance mode's apparently looking better as well. Cool. And they've announced that they're doing that thing that all the FPS nerds love, which is that high quality 40 FPS mode where you get all the benefits of favoring quality, but at 40 FPS if you have a variable refresh rate monitor. Don't look at me like that, Hunter. Those Digital Foundry nerds are going fucking crazy because they loved it in Ratchet and Clank. They loved it, so they're gonna love it again. To me, I'm just like, just stick it on 60. I don't care about the visuals.
Those were a lot of words you said.
Yeah, that was the weird thing. It's like 40 seems like a weird number since people are always freaking out about 60.
It is, but apparently if you have a dynamic like refresh monitor, 40 looks fluid because your like monitor syncs with it. It's not playing 40 on a 30 monitor, if that makes sense, or at 60. I don't know how it works, but apparently it's some magic bullshit that people with $3,000 TVs are going to really appreciate.
Oh, baby.
That's not me, though.
The only people who are buying the PS5s.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway. Then they announced Spider-Man for PC, which is cool. I did not see that coming. I was like, out of all the Sony games to go to PC, I was like, fuck. I did not see that coming, but also now I see why exactly they said that they were gonna like their earnings were gonna go up by 300 million on PC this year. I was like, how are they doing that? Oh, with Spider-Man and Miles Morales coming to PC this year. That's how they're gonna do it.
Yeah,
makes sense.
It's weird that they didn't specify that Miles Morales was coming in the video.
I think it's because Spider-Man Remastered has a date, whereas Miles doesn't. I feel like Miles could very easily slip. They're saying Miles is fall, which could very easily, to me, means we're trying to get it out for Christmas because it's a Christmas game, but not making promises. But that's cool, and I mean...
Yeah, that's cool. That's gonna, like... Spider-Man was already the best-selling PlayStation exclusive, I believe, so that's just gonna... Like,
telling you, Spider-Man this year... Bloodborne will be next year, and Bloodborne, like they know they're sitting on two gold mines here. They know Spider-Man is gonna fucking do crazy, and then they know when Spider-Man finally starts plummeting, they're like, "We're finally doing Bloodborne, guys," and then there they go. There's the big dick rocket to the moon.
Especially after Elden Ring already probably hooked a bunch of geeks who weren't already into Bloodborne.
Oh, 100%. Like
they'll be like, "Oh, this is the other one people always talk about."
Yeah, I feel like that's their big plan all along. Is just like waiting for the perfect moment to release Bloodborne. They're like, that's their game plan.
PC ports is basically just like Spider-Man. You could release whenever you want to.
Yeah,
really.
Exactly.
So,
and I feel like smaller ones will come. I feel like Returnal will probably be within the next year as well. I don't know if Ratchet will. Ratchet would be interesting because to me, there's not like Spider-Man will sell. But it's like Ratchet, I feel like there's not enough Ratchet yet, you know? I feel like it's not the start of a franchise, but it's also, there's not other ones they could also port to PC, except maybe Ratchet PS4, which is not a good start. Like, so, who knows? I feel like they want to move everything.
The number of times we've gotten that game for free, it would be, I could imagine them just like throwing that up as a freebie on Steam someday. Just because.
Yeah. They do love chuck. It's like God of War, to be honest. I'm surprised they didn't chuck that shit out because like God of War is like, it's one of our best selling games, but also we're just gonna give everybody every possible opportunity to own God of War before like, okay, you all bought it. Here it is in PlayStation Plus Collection. Okay, now it's a PS Plus game. Okay, also it'll be in part of PS Plus Extra if you missed that month. And I'm like, God, they really want everyone to play the boy game.
Boy.
But they refuse to release the new one. What? Anyway, it's all good. Stray was next, speaking of PS Plus Extra.
Yeah.
The cat game is coming out in July 19th. And it'll be free for anybody. Well, it'll be no extra cost for anyone that's part of the PS Plus Extra or...
I think it's
premium.
Both of the upper
It's the two
tiers.
higher ones, right? It'll be a part of the PS5 library, so if you're paying for the middle tier, you'll get it, which is cool. I'll probably play that game
that
now.
is cool. That is... it looks interesting enough. Like, before I was like, okay, it's a game where you play as a cat, that's funny. But now I feel like we've got more of the setting, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's gonna be kind of like traversal puzzles, I guess. Where
it's gonna be like a cat platformer kind of thing. Yeah. Which I'm interested enough to give it a try anyway. It's in July, which is a bit of a hell month, but you know, we'll make do. It's fine. We'll live.
I mean, Xenoblade doesn't come out until later, right?
So no, but Europeans get AI the Somnium files late.
Oh, right.
Right, the Europe tax.
The Europe tax, and then there was also another game that I wanted to play in July as well. I can't remember. Klonoa is also out in July, if you're a platformer fan. So, which I'll probably be buying because Klonoa sounds like a game that'll go up in value. So I'm just gonna get that and play it because it's a platformer. I like it. This one was cool. I'm sure, Hunter, you have a nice little impression of this.
The Callisto Protocol.
The Callisto Protocol got a release date for the 2nd of December. Seems like the creators of Dead Space are trying to give a massive middle finger to Dead Space by coming out a month earlier than the remake.
I want to beef that to market, and I hope that doesn't compromise. Like, if it needs more time, I hope they don't shove it out the door to beat Dead Space.
I mean, the one positive to say from that was that entire trailer was gameplay.
Oh, yeah, that trailer was all gameplay, and it was all really spiffy. Oh man, I
definitely
liked
was.
that
To me, that trailer, like as a non-horror fan, one, it creeped me the shit out, but two, it was that good where I was like, that's one of the, like, if we're talking about best trailers of like Jeff, whatever, Key 3, whatever the fuck I called it, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be in the conversation because that went from the Dead Space people, the people that made Dead Space are making a new horror game, to oh shit, that looks like right up those people's alley. Like people are gonna go ham for that when it comes out. And it could get pushed, but I hope it makes it because
me too, man. Because like the whole sequence of like that in December, Dead Space in January, assuming it makes its date, and then Resident Evil in March. Assuming that Zelda doesn't come out in March, I will. We'll get to that. I will be eating good as a horror fan for that whole sequence of time.
It was interesting. I don't know, Kyle, as someone that recently got into horror games, are you feeling like you want to shit yourself at the Callisto Protocol?
Not really.
That's the spirit.
Were you at all interested in the Resident Evil 4 remake since you played 2?
Yeah, I'll probably pick up 4 at some point.
Hell yeah, that's the spirit.
I still need to play 3, but
it's okay. 3's short.
I still need to buy 3.
I literally beat 3 in the same night that I got it.
Yeah, nice. It's true. We had great review first impressions on the podcast because Hunter literally beat the whole fucking thing. It was great.
I was like, I made a joke about the whole virus thing. I was like, it might be cathartic to overcome something like that. Go give it a shot.
Anyway, moving on. It was then time for a little indie break with Rollerdrome coming out in August, which
this game looked really cool.
It's like Tony Hawk mixed with guns. I was like, that's pretty. Yeah, I am down for it. It had the aesthetics of Ollie Ollie World as well. At first, I was like, "Oh, is
that dev team?
Is it the same dev team?"
Yeah.
That game's going to be great then, because Ollie Ollie.
Yeah,
that game's going to be good.
Yeah. I've been thinking about picking up Ollie Ollie World, but my other like things that I've wanted to play, I guess, have won out since then. But I'm gonna play this because it looks sweet.
It does. It looks pretty cool. It's a pretty interesting one. I do like it quite a lot. And then for all you weebs out there, anime action game / dating sim Eternights comes out in early 2023. Or Eternights, I guess. Yeah.
It opened with the dude's arm getting cut off or whatever, so that had my attention.
It turned into a sword.
Yeah. It was genuinely one of those things where I was watching this and I was like, this looks like it's kind of Persona-y. And then I to be honest, it lost me because in the gameplay I saw the fucking wheel at the bottom and I'm like, oh god, it's fucking Scarlet Nexus. I'm like, no, it's got the fucking elements in the corner, no. But I'm like, that's interesting. We'll see how that goes.
I'm interested in the hack and slash Persona game. The dev tweeted out that literally like played Persona 5 and then
played Persona 3 and then decided I wanted to make a game like that. Yeah.
And then he quit his job and he decided to make this. And I really hope this game is good.
Yeah.
Just because that'd be a great story.
Same. We'll see if it actually makes it in early 2023. And then obviously a big one, Street Fighter 6. We didn't think we'd get both. We thought we'd get one or the other, but we got both. Street Fighter 6 showed off some new gameplay. It showed a quick glimpse at its new story mode, which is like a proper adventure story mode with like 3D gameplay and stuff like that.
Open world kind of thing.
And then a glimpse at the battle hub.
Really cool, to be fair. Like
it does.
It seemed like they went a step beyond the kind of bare bones just walk around to your next fight. Like,
dude, I hate
the trash can had physics on it, so that was cool.
I really hate that the character you play as doesn't wear shoes in this nasty ass looking city.
That sounds about right, though. Sounds about right.
He's gonna step on something and get a disease.
But no, it looks interesting, and like I say, they changed the logo as well, which is good because fucking hell, that last logo was tragic. This one I don't think is fine. I don't think it's
not any better.
No, I think it's better, but not
this one has like color on it. The other one was just like plain, wasn't it?
It was just literally the last one was literally like, you know, the little 6 logo they've made out of the IV, the VI, and just that. It was that, but instead it was the S and the F as the 2 things, and then a 6 like underneath it, like it was a mathematics equation, like in the corner. It was gross. It was disgusting. Whereas at least this one now is Street Fighter 6. And I kind of like the graffiti kind of vibe that they're going for. The kind of street
I like
vibe.
the atmosphere they have on this one. It's neat.
They're going for more color, like it seems like, and I think it's a cool way to go.
Interesting kind of rebrand of the series.
Like, the first look at the Street Fighter 6, I was kind of worried that it was going to get sapped of whatever style that the series had before. Like, I didn't like the visuals of 5 very much. I think a lot of the characters' hairs looked like Play-Doh, and I thought that it was a major step down from the way that Street Fighter 4 looked. That looked like a comic book, and it was really neat looking.
Yeah.
This looks like it's getting back to that in a sense with its own kind of take on it.
I feel like Street Fighter 5 went for what many games during the PS4 era did, which was those graphics, bro. Like, let's get that realism HD, like, kind of like everything that even had a style was kind of like, they almost took the PS3 aesthetic way of going, right, get that detail in, make it look almost a bit weird. And then now they're going back to, we can't keep going for more real, more accurate. Like, so they're like, let's just make a good looking game and put that some of that flair, that kind of comic booky graffiti kind of aesthetic into it, which I'm all for. It looks pretty cool. Tunic's coming to PlayStation 4 and 5 if you haven't played it on Game Pass. Still on Game Pass. I was like, oh, it's that Fox game that Sam refunded on Steam within an hour.
Yeah, it is. It is the not gothic Death's Door.
Yeah, it's the Zelda with a fox, and it's all right.
I'll be interested to play it when it comes out because I've been wanting to play it. I figure come to PlayStation or Switch, and I got my wish. So there we go.
And then a final indie game of the show, Season of Letters to the Future, is also coming out later this year. Looks like a very weird, just kind of like story driven, like kind of like adventure, kind of just taking the ambiance kind of game, you know, like that kind of, you know, you relax, unwind kind of Zen games, which looked interesting. Then finally the big ender. I remember saying to Hunter, if Street Fighter's not the ender, what do you think it is? And he was like, Final Fantasy 16. I'm like, it's probably Final Fantasy 16, isn't it? And it was.
And it was.
Final Fantasy 16. So I think it'll be interesting. I'm interested to hear what you two have to say, Kyle in particular, because for me, I was like, yeah, so that trailer was fine. I didn't feel anything from it, to be honest. The only thing I felt was pain when they said summer 2023. To be honest, I was like, I thought you were coming soon.
I was so happy.
I was like, honestly, I was like,
I'm safe.
Well, so let me preface: one, happy for the draft because one of my counter picks is already a 0. We cheers to that. And 2, I have a whole year to find a PS5.
True.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But no, how did you feel about the trailer exactly? Because
it looked cool.
Again, I'm gonna say it right. I'm gonna say this was a trailer for people that were like, "Hey, fucking Final Fantasy 14 fans, we got you. Look, we're doing an actual one." Like that's what it felt like. Where I was like, "Yo, you guys love Yoshi P. Look, it's Yoshi P. Final Fantasy."
Here he is again.
Here he is again. To me, like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I say, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, that second trailer that they did for that game, I was like, I'm fucking in. I was like, I'm still in because I'm gonna play it because I like the idea of what it is, and I feel like it's gonna be great. But this trailer did fuck all for me. I'm not gonna lie. It was like I was like, yeah, okay, you're singing the summons names. That's kind of. I'm like, okay, what?
I was down for it.
It was fine. I thought again. I was like, where's Street Fighter? I was like, Street Fighter. That was a good trailer. Like, as someone that doesn't care, I was like, I'm into this. This is a good trailer. These two, I was like, these are the first 2 games. I'm like, especially Final Fantasy. I'm gonna play Final Fantasy 16 when it comes out. But this did nothing. This didn't like sell me on it. It was just like, oh yeah, this game looks really pretty. It's grown a lot in the past year. Why the fuck's it summer though if you're polishing it? That's 100%. We don't want to cannibalize Forspoken, so we're just pushing it out for a while.
Yeah, that was the thing where I had been joking about after, Starfield got pushed and stuff. Oh yeah, now Final Fantasy has like a spot to go take, and I'm like, that's still pretty close to Forspoken though. They probably won't do that.
Yeah. And I mean, it's interesting that they didn't show Forspoken here, to be honest. That's one that I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
that game's
I think we've seen enough Forspoken.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is I don't think they've sold anybody on Forspoken. That's the thing. I feel like we're like, yeah,
they're
I'll try Forspoken.
And it has a fucking dragon in it. What more do you need?
They're going to remind us that it exists again at some point.
Yeah,
before it releases.
Probably.
Like some point this week during Key 3.
Maybe at Key 3.
Yeah.
If not, maybe in that September showing, they'll just do a final trailer for it there. If they do a September showcase.
But yeah, as far as the Final Fantasy 16 trailer, I really liked it. Man, the fact that they got the one dude who helped, or the one guy directing the combat used to work for the Devil May Cry team, that comes through loud and clear, and that pleases me to no end. None of this boring half-action nonsense that 15 was. This game is going to be fun to play, probably for the duration of it, for at least someone like me. And I'm at peace with this now, because Final Fantasy has been trying to move away from turn-based combat forever, so they might as well just be the best in the opposite direction that they can be.
I do think though, and that's like my one thing, is when you're talking about your hack and slashes like DMC, like Bayonetta, right? They have these really complicated movesets, because it's a short game that they know that people that are going to love this are going to replay over and over and over again and master that moveset. And it's like, the only like kind of worry I have is, okay, what does that do to a 60-hour RPG if you lose? Like, I feel like there has to be some kind of,
as long as they pace out the encounters to not be super long, it'll be all right, I think, because Tales of Arise was kind of like this crazy action game, not to quite the level that Devil May Cry was, but it was way harder on action than any RPG I've played in a long time. And because of the pace of the encounters being like, basically you'd smack things around for like 2 minutes maximum, except for bosses, right? And it was super fast and super satisfying. And if that's what they managed to pull off here, I think it'll be in good shape.
I don't know. It's like, that's my one hesitance with it, is because obviously I think the one thing for better or for worse about 7 Remake's combat was it was simplistic as fuck. So even people like me that don't like kind of hack and slash combat could get into it for a 30-hour game. Where I was like, okay, I get it, right? But it's like one of the things where if you get one of those DMC movesets, it's very easy to just say, okay, baby bitches, just smash the square button and get your way through it. You'll be fine, guys. You'll be fine. It's easy enough to mash square.
But I feel like
it gets boring. I don't want.
I feel like they'll catch the balance somehow here.
Oh, I'm sure they will. But it's one of those things where it's like, it's going to be a very fine line for it to be something like Final Fantasy VII Remake to being something like Scarlet Nexus, that instead of feeling like an RPG feels like a hack and slash that's going on 2 to 3 times its length. I feel like that's the problem, is we need more proof of RPG than proof of hack and slash. Don't get me wrong, I love great combat, but it's about drawing that line of, okay, Final Fantasy is an RPG foremost. Let's make sure that it still feels like an RPG and also caters to that audience and not just a hack and slash audience. Because you, for God's sake, you don't want a Scarlet Nexus where you're getting 30 hours in and you're like, God, I want this to fucking end.
Scarlet Nexus would be like the opposite of achieving the Tales of Arise kind of pace, because Scarlet Nexus's encounters go on for way too long most of the game.
Yeah.
So that would be them missing the mark for sure.
That's my only hesitancy. Like I say, it looks great. It looks beautiful. We know like fuck all about the story really, but I prefer it that way, to be honest, because you know what Square Enix is like with story trailers.
At least the world looks neat. That's all I really need.
I kind of like. I really like the return to the sort of medieval aesthetic instead
You know,
of
for
like
being a game
the
that's called
modernized games like 13 and 15
for
were.
being a series called Final Fantasy, I feel like the fantasy aesthetic is not where it lives most of the time, and that's kind of
Yeah.
funny.
Especially, like saying current years, you've got most recent mainline games are obviously 13 and 15, and then you also had 7 Remake, which is obviously also not very fantasy because it's about corporations and technology a lot of the time. So it is
Yeah.
one of those things where it's like even the remake
And
of
then
the old Final Fantasies that they're doing is one of the less fantasy based ones. So it's
even
like
10 had a bunch of technology hoopla. It was kind of more in like the Horizon way, where the world was so broken that it was kind of the technology existed there but wasn't being utilized. But still,
But yeah, it will be interesting. Like I say, like it's in good hands, and I have faith that they'll make a great game. But it is one of those things where it was like that trailer didn't sell me, and also the more I think about it, the more I'm like, there are definitely ways that they could fuck this up. And I don't want to be the joy killer here, but there are definitely ways that they could fuck it up. They're going in a great direction in one way, but also it's also Final Fantasy, guys. Let's not forget this. They love to fuck things up every so often.
they sure do.
They sure
and also, I feel like everybody's expecting this to be the most crowd pleaser, like game of the year, like kind of Final Fantasy. And I'm like, just remember, guys, Final Fantasy 15 was not a crowd pleaser. Final Fantasy 13 was definitely not a crowd pleaser. In fact,
it was a Japan pleaser because it got the whole trilogy.
Yeah, but it's not like a worldwide crowd pleaser. And I'm like, even 14, which is beloved by so many people, isn't a crowd pleaser because it's already excluding the crowd that hates MMOs. So it's like, it's not a surefire hit. I just hope that they miss those couple of boundaries, like those couple of hits that they could take and make a really good game. That's my hope, anyway. And the next time we see it, for the love of God, give us an actual fucking trailer, please. That's like, give us some actual gameplay that isn't just 2-second shot. Look, there's a health bar, so you know it's gameplay. But I'm like, give us some fucking actual juice. Give us some meat on those bones. Don't just show the bones.
Some big summons fighting each other.
I really hope that that's not a fucking. I really hope that that's not like a theme of the game. Is like every time you've got to go Gigazord. Like that's.
I don't want kaiju battles.
I don't think they'll bust that out. Well, I don't know. If they bust it out,
they showed like 3 examples of it in the trailer, so I feel like they're busting it out whether we like it or
not. I feel like a lot of those looked like it was a cutscene fight, though. Like I saw Odin fighting. I don't remember who it was. I think it was like the Titan or something. But like that one specifically, I'm like, that will be a cool cinematic. I don't think that it is an actual. I don't think that was an actual fight. I do believe that if they incorporate the summons in a way that's kind of like how it was in 7 Remake, where it's kind of like you just summon this big dude who you can kind of tell to do things here and there, and it'll be a very cool visual to watch it smack around this other big monster, then that'll be fine. If it's this played out cutscene every time, that'd be a little old.
Like I say that, it's like, it's finding that balance, right? You also don't want it to be too much like 7 because we've already had 7. And then you'll just be like, oh, it's 7 again, and you get fatigue. Then God fucking help us when we get to Remake Part 2. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I expect some overlap between them, obviously, because 7 Remake was huge for Square. So I obviously expect them to at least take what they've learned and move that forward, right? Not necessarily copy their homework, but go, okay, 7 Remake was really good for us and people loved it. What lessons can we learn and apply to 16?
Here's what worked, here's what didn't.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so it's like, it's a learning process. And I do think that it's going to be a good game. It's just, like I say, there's a couple of hurdles that they need to not trip over, but it's in the best possible hands. That's the thing, it's in the best possible hands.
Yeah.
So we just have to hope for the best.
If everything that's supposed to come out in 2023 comes out, that year is off the charts.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we say that every season.
I will say this, though, for a fact. Persona 6 is 2024. I will say that for a fact. Because even if it's ready, they're fucking yeeting that shit into oblivion. They don't care. They're like... We'll see. But yeah. I like to say, it's going to be a crazy year. 2023 is going to be a crazy year. At least in terms of Final Fantasy, and in terms of Microsoft will probably have some stuff. Sony, we have fucking no clue, which is the big question from this, is we still have no clue about Sony. We've got God of War. Then what? Last of Us Remake, which we know exists but hasn't been revealed. After Last of Us Remake,
I don't know.
We know fuck all. We know literally
They said that, so I'm not saying that I have a whole lot of faith in Spider-Man 2 coming out in 2023 when they say it will, but also, who am I to doubt Insomniac?
I have more faith now because I feel like they're releasing Spider-Man because they're confident. I feel like releasing it on PC is so they can go, he wants to go and buy a PS5 now that you've played it on PC, nerds. Like, that's what they're doing. But...
like, of all the teams at PlayStation to hit their date when they say it will, I would imagine it would be Insomniac.
Especially because they're probably thinking, again, looking at the future of it, they're like, okay, we've got Spider-Man. They probably want Wolverine out by 2025 at the latest, right? Probably 2024. And they've probably got not necessarily another Ratchet. I hope they've got another Ratchet in development, but it's like they've probably got another game from that third studio that they're trying to slot into 2025, because Insomniac's got 3 teams, so it's like they're trying to slot everything in. So it's like I feel like Insomniac almost keeps itself in check by having all these different teams, because they're like, they probably have a game scheduled for 23, 24, and 25. Whereas Naughty Dog just sits on its arse all day and goes, nice, we're going to do Last of Us again in 5 years.
Maybe we'll throw out the factions with it. Maybe we'll just save that for a rainy day.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. But no, overall, that was the state of play. And there was a lot of good stuff. But like I say, it's funny. We still have no clue what PlayStation's actually doing themselves. So
No. Capcom and Square's back hurts from carrying them for that.
We'll wait for September, like we say. Who knows? Maybe Sly is closer than we think. Maybe there's some stuff that's coming in 2023 that we don't know about yet. Who knows? But there's that. Anyway, with that out of the way, that took way longer than I thought it did. But hey, it's the HGO podcast. I feel like
that much in us.
Everything always takes like at least 25 minutes longer than we think it will. So, I guess it's time for the rest of Key 3. So it's Summer Game Mass predictions time, ladies and gentlemen. So we've had PlayStation. Well, we've had what PlayStation shown so far. They might show up again.
Yeah.
So usually last year we did set predictions. We went through every conference. This year, it's a lot more consolidated. Just like the game industry in general a year later. Much more consolidated.
Yeah. Oof.
Womp womp.
There's only so many things we have to worry about. So I split them into 3 sections. We've got Game Awards, Summer Game Mass. We have got Xbox, because they have got a confirmed conference. And then I've also put Nintendo as a wild card, because we expect a different direct from Nintendo in June, because they have done for like God knows how long now. I feel like that's the only direct that is consistent with Nintendo recently. So we're hoping for a Nintendo Direct. So to make this more fun, to make this more interesting, we'll do our predictions at the end if we have anything. But I've done some homework because I was off and had free time. I have created some big bets and big rewards, boys. I am now a dealer. I am now a licensed betting agency just for you two for stupid game picks. That's what I do. We're using fake money. We're going to use HGO dollars.
Weirdly specific qualifications.
Yeah, it's very specific qualifications. And what I've done.
Ethan's also going to be the merchant in the Resident Evil 4 remake.
You want a boy? You want your boy? But yeah, I've created some bets, and I'm going to read them out, and I'm going to read odds. So there's 30 bets. You each have 30 HGO dollars. You don't have to bet on every one. You can put more into one than the other. I'll keep track as we go along. But essentially, I'll tell you the odds. You can put up to 5. 5 is the maximum. I wouldn't recommend going 5 if I were you, because that's putting a lot of faith into Jeff Keighley. But simple is, I'll tell you the odds. I'll tell you what it is. Some of them are fun. Some of them will be like, this is going to happen. Some of them might be really arbitrary, and you might love it. We'll see. We'll see what you go for. We see what you won't. So, here's the first one. First big boy bet. Are you ready, boys? We've got to start with it because we love talking about it on the podcast. This has a 3-to-1 odds. Also, the way we're doing the odds, by the way, is if you get it right, whether it's a yes or no, if you get it right, you get the odds. That's just straight out what we're doing. You lose the money if you get it wrong. So if you say yes or no to a question and the answer is no, you get and you put $1 down, you get $3.
Okay.
If you're wrong, you just lose the money. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to keep it simple. We're not going to be like 3 for yes, 1 for no. We're not doing that shit. We're just going to make it simple for everybody to keep track as we go along.
All right.
So this first one has 3-1 odds. A Persona game will arrive on Switch and Xbox. Very specifically, not one or the other. It has to come to both. 3-1 odds. What are you guys thinking? Atlas is confirmed to be there. What are you guys thinking? How are you feeling?
I will give that $1.
Okay. $1? What are you saying? Yes? $1 for yes?
Yeah, $1 for yes.
Okay. $1 for yes. Kyle? How are you feeling?
No.
You're just holding off? You're not doing it?
Not at all.
You're not even confident?
No,
you can put $1 down on no if you're that confident.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, $1 on no?
I'm not putting anything on Switch.
Fair enough. Well, that's the thing I was going to put Switch or Xbox, but I was like, that's too easy because you can just say yes, and if you get one or the other. I was like, Switch and Xbox. Now that's the real kicker.
Yeah.
I'm also going to answer him for fun. I'm going to say 1 and yes, I'm going to believe because you got to put some faith in it. You got to put some faith. My points don't matter though because I'm like I'm the dealer, so it feels a bit wrong if I'm like, and I win my own betting scam. Thank you.
Yeah.
All the money belongs to me. But yeah, I'll put 1 on yes as well. So that's an interesting one. Next one, more of a simpler one. So shorter odds, 2-1 odds on this one, guys. God of War Ragnarok will release before October. So not only does it have to be shown again during Game MS at some stage, but also it has to have a release date before October. Now, I want to specify this, that I'm counting before October as including October. So before or during October.
The end of October.
Yeah, before the end of October. So if it's got a November 11th, if they are taking Starfield's date like a lot of toxic PlayStation fans think they're going to do, they're not, but if they did, then that'd count as a no.
Yeah.
So, any takers for God of War Ragnarok? Do we have faith in Sony Santa Monica
I will
Studios?
put 2 down on no.
Okay.
I was also thinking 2 down on no.
You're both going 2 down on no?
Yeah. I don't believe.
Okay.
God of War's not real.
Okay. I'm going to put 2 down on yes, because fuck you both. Can't believe it.
I'm just manifesting the third here of the fantasy critic suicide bet.
Okay. Don't know. Okay. Third bet for Game Mess. Studio MDHR are confirmed to be there, which means Cuphead's confirmed to be there.
Yep.
My question to you is this one. It's a 2-1 odds. More than 5 bosses from the Cuphead DLC will be shown in the trailer. So, for this one, if more than 5 bosses are shown during the trailer, if it's gameplay, you're fucked. But if it's a trailer and they show 5 bosses, you get the points. If they show less than 5 bosses, you get the points. What I'm saying is Cuphead's going to be there because
it's going to be there.
But will there be 5 bosses?
I'm trying to think about how they've shown this game before, or even like the other one.
It's an interesting one.
I can't really remember like the specifics. It's just Cuphead, just images of the game, and I don't know what of that is just my own doing.
Do they show? Do they go through different levels and
all
show
of
a load?
Cuphead is just blends together to me.
What do you think, guys? What do you think?
I think I'm just gonna pass on this.
Pass.
You both abstaining? Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, this one I can't vote in. I can't put my money down on this. I'm not going to do it at the Cuphead one either. Because I don't want to count it. If no one else is doing it, then I'm not going to count it for my own sick enjoyment. Anyway. This one's to do with me, so I can't vote.
Goody.
You ready for this one? Gotham Knights is confirmed to appear. So here's my next one for you guys. Ethan's hype for Gotham Knights will die with the next trailer. This is 3-1 odds. Simple as this. If I deem that this, because I'm still pretty hyped for Gotham Knights, all things considered.
Okay, I was gonna say I was like, man, I really wish I would have asked you what you thought of that gameplay.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I thought it was rough, but I'm still looking forward to it because I'm still hopeful for the best, and also I'm gonna be a Batgirl main, so I don't care about those two clowns that were riding around on fucking jetpacks or whatever the fuck they were doing. Anyway,
fair.
But will the next trailer kill my hype, or will it redeem my hype?
I'm gonna say kill.
You're gonna say kill? How many are you putting on it? Just one?
Just one.
Just one for you? Okay.
Just one.
One for you.
Small bet.
Small bet. That's fine. That's fine.
I'll put one in the opposites. You'll be... Your hype won't be killed. Maybe not over the moon about it, but you'll still at least feel the same that you do now.
Okay. That's a 3-1. So
yeah.
So Ethan's hype will die. Hunter says Ethan's hype will not die. You're very optimistic. Survive. We'll see. Next one. Modern Warfare 2 is confirmed to show up. My question for you is this. There will be over 10 swears in the Modern Warfare 2 gameplay footage. So for this, there has to be 10 or more swears during it. That can be just a fuck shit. It can be in the conversation of, they've got a fucking RPG. It can be anything, but they have to swear 10 times in the trailer. Will there be 10 swears in the trailer? I'm trying to make these easy. Well, I'm trying to make these more fun because I'm like, we all know Modern Warfare is going to be there. And we all know all three of us are not going to give a flying shit about Modern Warfare.
No,
so I've got to make it interesting for us.
This is like me trying to guess the amount of minutes of the ad.
Yeah.
In the Game Awards.
That was inspiration for a lot of these, by the way. So cool. Will there be? Will they swear 10 times?
I'll put 2 down on no.
Okay. You think they're going to be very?
I think it'll be somewhere closer to like 5 to 7.
Okay. Kyle.
Because mercifully, that trailer will only be a couple of minutes.
You'd hope.
I hope.
Kyle, you want to put any on this? You feeling lucky or?
No.
Feeling lucky.
Are you a fucking coward, dude?
Yes.
Fair enough. To be fair, I wouldn't go on that one either. To be honest. Okay, here's another one. Now, this one very much is a counting one, and God help me for this one, right?
God.
Mediatonic is confirmed to be there, so my question for you is this. There'll be 20... In the Fall Guys trailer, there will be over 20 new costumes. Because obviously there's 60 characters in a Fall Guys lobby, so there's going to be a lot of fucking Fall Guys in there. My question to you is, will there be 20 new costumes shown in the trailer? God help me counting.
Is this... Will they be going multi-plat by now?
Yes.
Okay.
Free for All is June 21st, so this will be a trailer for the new season. So will over 20. I just want to show... They don't have to showcase them. They don't have to go, look, here's big boy Timmy, and then
he
is
just
like...
be in the background.
Yeah, so I'm literally going to be counting them and going, that's an old costume, that's a new costume, that's an old costume. I should also put, just beans with patterns on them, they don't count. It has to be an actual costume. Yes or no?
I'm going to pass on this one.
Kyle?
I'm going to say 2 on no.
Bastard. If there was one that I was like, yes, please skip, it was that one. Because now I have to fucking count the beans.
Because I hate you.
Yeah, now I have to count the beans.
Those beans, Ethan.
I'm going to put 2 on yes, just so I have something into it. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Oh, man.
Okay. Anyway.
I liked that question, though. It was a good one. I just was like, I'm not sure how I feel about trying to go one way or the other on it.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, here's another one. This one has been changed slightly because there was an announcement from Jeff Keighley that Callisto Protocol will be showing up at Game Mess. So I upped it from 3 to 4. At least 4 games shown at the Summer Game Fest presentation will be retreads from the Sony or Xbox show. So if the Xbox show comes to bite them and there's games that are retread over there, this counts. So question to you is, will more than 4 of these be retreads from things shown in other conferences, either the Xbox, the Nintendo, or the Sony State of Play? Will there be more than 4 retreads from Jeff Keighley?
No.
Yes. Throw 2 down on that.
2 down on yes. Okay. Yeah. Kyle?
Just 1 on no.
Just 1 on no? Okay.
Do you remember? I remember last year how many times I saw Death's Door and a myriad of other things.
Oh yeah,
Death's Door is sticking out to me specifically because I actually liked seeing that one. But
this is what I'm saying right now. Is if there's
I remember how many times Jeff Keighley has tried to throw Godfall into my eye sockets.
Oh yeah, 100%. This is what I'm also going with yes, because I know for a fact that Fall Guys is probably going to show up at both Xbox and Nintendo because they're coming out on those platforms. So I'm like,
yeah, Fall Guys will at least be in a sizzle reel if Nintendo does a thing.
If Fall Guys is in Xbox and Switch, by the way, Kyle, that will only count as one. I'm not gonna be cruel and go, okay, it was in 2, so we're counting it as 2. Not that cruel, but okay. That was a 3-1 odds, by the way. By the way, the over 20 costumes in Fall Guys, Kyle, forgot to mention that. That was a 4-1 odds. So if you're right, you're winning big on that one. You're winning big on that.
Hell yeah. Maybe. We're going to Applebee's.
2-1 on this next one. This one's for Hunter especially.
I haven't been to Applebee's in a while.
That
was a complete aside.
I've never been to an Applebee's in my life.
I've been there a couple of times. They're okay.
There was one in my college, and we used to go there all the time.
Hit me with it, Ethan.
This one was for you. 2-1 odds. Will the Silent Hills speak up, Hunter, for 2-1 odds?
I feel like I'm obligated to put down 5 on yes.
Oh my god.
For 2-1 odds. Remember, guys, we do have 20 more of these after
20 more? How much more money do I have?
You've already used like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've already used 8. So if you skip
throw
the
the
next
5
one...
on there anyway.
Okay, yeah.
I am nothing if not committed to my bits.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Kyle, do you want to partake? You've used 2, 4, 6. You've used 2, 4, 5, 6. You've used 7 so far.
2 down on no.
2 down on no. No, not a believer. Not a believer in Silent Hill.
So
no.
Yeah, but they could show medium DLC.
It could be random nonsense. Like I wouldn't be super shocked if it was like just some other licensed horror title like they got with Blair Witch or something. But I gotta stick to my manifesting that I was doing since the beginning of the year.
Okay, this is another one of Ethan can't vote. Okay, you ready for this one? At least 5 world premieres should not be world premieres, and by this I mean any fucking whatever it was called. You know, the not D&D. What are the fucking Warhammer games?
Warhammer?
Any of that?
Oh my god, I had notes on that stuff. Yeah, I hear you. And
basically, if I'll be fair. If it's a DLC or if it's something like that, I'll take it. But if it is like something that's like, oh guys, we've got a new battle pass for Fortnite, or if we've got like a 60 millionth game from the Warhammer team that somehow shits out that many games a year, won't count. But will there be 5 world premieres that I do not count as proper world premieres?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes?
I'll put a 1 down on yes for that.
1 down on yes? You saying, Kyle? Okay, 1 down on yes.
That sounds pretty par for the course for Keeley's stuff.
Okay, guys. Final one. 5-1 odds on this one. And it's for all those Crash people that won't let it die.
Oh my god, here it goes.
Wumpa League is real, and people won't shut up about it. 5-1 odds. Is Wumpa League real, boys? Is it real? I fucking hope not.
5 on no.
1 on no.
5 on no. Okay. 1 on no. I will also say I was also going to go firm on a 5 on no as well, Kyle. I'm glad to see that we all agree. The Wumpa League isn't real. Crash is dead.
If I had an infinite amount of resources, I would have also put 5 on no, but I have to pick my spots.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you've already used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You've already used 13 of your points, so you've only got 17 points left for the next 20. So you're gonna have to skip a couple of these at least. Kyle, you have used up so far 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You've used up even more. You've used up 15. You've used up even more. And I've used of my 27, because I have less because of the way the predictions work. I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I also have 15. There we go. Right. That's Game Mess. Do you have any predictions, Hunter, for actual Game Mess before we move on?
I'll throw down.
That's not Xbox or Nintendo.
Yeah, I had a couple of notes that I just made because 2K was said to be there. I had like 3 different levels of thing. BioShock, if it's an actually good announcement. In reality, probably some Tiny Tina Wonderlands DLC. And then if it's any form of Godfall, I'm resigning from the show.
Oh no!
Oh God, I fucking hope not.
Goodbye, Hunter.
What else is there?
Was that 2K? 2K is.
Yeah, because it was the same. It was like Gearbox or something stupid made Godfall.
Yeah. I was like, that's not GTA, people. I'm like, no, it's not. That's Take-Two.
I had before. Okay, I guess I didn't realize that Jeff said that Callisto Protocol was going to be there. I had.
It was just today. It was just today.
Okay, I had Dead Space being at this thing, and I think it'd be kind of. It could be, but I think it'd be weird, especially if Bloober Team. If Bloober Team is also there, I think it'd be a weirdly saturated amount of horror games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This isn't for Games Mess. It's actually a Gamescom thing. I think Dragon Age will be at that. I just want to throw that into the ether.
Okay, throw that into the ether. Go for it.
Yeah. Plague Tale Requiem will probably get a trailer.
Nice.
And just to be fun here, September release date, because that month seems to be free, aside from Splatoon, which is a completely different market.
Yeah, the one I had, which I think is more likely than God of War in a lot of ways. Funny enough, it was originally a bet, but I removed it because we had too many bets. It was if The Last of Us remake gets announced, it'll get announced. Yeah. It'll be announced here.
I had that down as well,
but I thought it was too easy. I thought it was too much of a safe bet to be like, that's either going to show up here or it's not coming this year. So, because I'm like, there's no way they're announcing it in September and then it coming out in like November, December time. That's not happening. So that was my only one really. Sega's also here, so they're probably going to disappoint somebody, whether it's Sonic fans or.
You see, until like yesterday, I was like, yeah, that's what I'll show the Sonic trailer, but they've given 2 of those out, and people are now begging them to quit it. So
I'm also gonna that was the prediction that I wanted to make from Atlas, was if it is Persona related, I am 100% of the belief now. Don't ask me why. I've just got a feeling in my bones about if it's a Persona announcement, that it's Persona 5, not Persona 4, that's getting moved to Switch and Xbox. I do not think it's Persona 4 anymore. And my reason behind that is we've got to the point now where it was released 2 years ago on PC. The time and place has vanished for that. If they're moving it, it's P5.
Yeah. My Persona related prediction, this was complete sarcasm. Dr. Shikemi's Trauma Center spinoff.
Nice. I also think if the Atlas thing isn't Persona related, then it's 100% the Western cast reveal for Soul Hackers, probably.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But I still think Soul Hackers is a game that they wouldn't bring to this. I still think that they.
I feel like that's probably too niche.
If Persona has a June announcement, then it's happening at Game. It's happening in Game Mess. If it's something that's substantial, and if not, we go back to the copium again, and we just keep huffing until October because it's not going to be in the Direct or if it's in the Xbox show, I will literally I will be honestly shocked. If it's in the Xbox show, fuck it. Even if it's on, I'll put this down as a bet. If it is on Xbox and it's at the Xbox show, I won't, and it's on Game Pass, I won't even use Game Pass. I will literally spend the £100 or whatever it is to buy the deluxe edition digital on Xbox. That's how confident I am that it won't be at the Xbox show. But
yeah, I would be gobsmacked.
I'm not retiring from the show. But
I'll at least put my money retire from the show. Then there's no show.
Could you imagine? Hey guys,
or just give Kyle, it to someone else.
Just Kyle hosting it. Hey guys, welcome to the HGO podcast. I still haven't played a new game, so see you next week.
Yo, we can finally launch Quarter Circle Forward. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh man.
Anyway, let's move over to Xbox. This is obviously our least known like kind of area. Obviously, we haven't really cared about Xbox until recently.
Yeah,
and now I have an Xbox, so I should start caring. But I'm not into the ecosystem enough to know about what their developers are doing and all that shit. So more generic. But let's start with this one. This one's like, I feel like this is the most obvious one because I feel like everybody's talked about it. And I'll give you that piece of information, Kyle, as this has been heavily suggested for a while, because you won't know. Gears of War will have a remastered collection revealed, similar to Master Chief Collection. 2-1 odds on that one. Anyone gonna buy it or anyone gonna pass?
I'll pass on that one.
Same, I'm gonna pass on it as well. I just heard I needed it to be an even number, so that was my one.
Yeah.
You ready?
And like, I'll be honest, apparently I'm just really good at ignoring things that don't interest me because I heard nothing about that, and it's probably because I don't care about Gears of War at all.
Yeah, I'm not a massive
and it's not quite big enough to like be vexingly poking me with information that I don't want. So
yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Next one has got 3-1 odds. This one's a fun one, a quirky one. Todd Howard will say 3 over-exaggerated feats about Starfield when it comes to showing gameplay. So all he needs to say is something over-exaggerated about the game. It can be about how big the map is. It can be about the graphics. It can be about the number of quests. It can be about the story length. He just has to say 3 things that you know he's just saying just to over-exaggerate the point. It's as simple as that. You'll get the money if he shows up and does that. Or will it just be gameplay and he doesn't? Then you'll lose the points. Who knows? It's not confirmed he'll be there. But I had to put it here because of how much we've memed Fallout 76. So
I'll put a 1 on yes for that because I feel like
I was thinking the same thing.
I feel like when Starfield comes out, if it comes out next year, it's going to be early. So they're still.
I think it'll be spring. Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a busy March. To be honest, I think it's going to be a really busy March.
So I feel like they'll still do like the big Starfield blowout.
Yeah.
That involves Todd Howard talking a bunch of nonsense, whispering sweet nothings at the people who are going to buy his game.
Well, that's just every time Todd Howard is on screen.
We do love him, though. We do love him. I'm going to put 1 on no, because I think they're just going to let the gameplay speak for themselves, because I feel like that's I feel like that's the Todd Howard movie. He's going to come out, but he's going to be like, we've made a lot of mistakes in the past, and we're just going to let the gameplay speak for itself, and then they'll show the gameplay, and it'll look like a Bethesda game, and then they'll be like, as you can see, it's our most overambitious. Oops, I said a word.
Oops.
You know, something like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like most of it's going to be speaking for itself. We'll see. Anyway, next one, 3-1 odds on this one as well, but it's also to do with me. At least 5 Game Pass reveals Ethan will consider decent. So it's as simple as that. I now have a Game Pass subscription, so I care about this shit. So it's as simple. If it's a day and date on Game Pass or it's announced for Game Pass and I think it's decent, it gets added on the list. And let me say, my bar's pretty low. If it's a game that's relatively new, let me put it this, if they show up and it's like, yo guys, got great news, guys, Rayman 3's coming to Game Pass, I'm like, no one gives a shit. No one cares. But if it's something substantial, if it's something decent, if it's like, hey, this is coming to Game Pass, I'll give it a thumbs up.
I'm going to pass on that one.
Fair enough. Kyle?
Yeah, I'm also going to pass.
Fair enough. I would pass on it too.
Yeah.
I'm a very picky bitch.
I can never trust Ethan's emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, you trusted the other one.
Anyway, that was before I had to budget my points.
True. Okay, next one. Another subjective one, but it's not in the hands of me. Redfall will look underwhelming. That's a fact, okay? It will look underwhelming.
Yeah.
But other gaming outlets will overhype it. So, this is based on the press's reaction to Redfall. For those of you who forgot, that's the vampire game that closed last year's Xbox show for the 15 million people that forgot. The original one was Ethan would say, I forgot about Redfall when the trailer came on. But I'm like, if I know that that's a bet, I'll subconsciously think about
it.
Yeah. So in chat, it's will they overreact because it's an arcane game? Is basically the question on that one.
1 on yes.
1 on yes. Fair enough. Cal, you having any of that? I feel like that's one you're not going to have any on.
No.
No, that's fair enough. Save your points for Nintendo. That's what I would do. I'm also saving it on that one. Okay, this one, 4-1 odds. It's a big one. At least 3 unexpected announcements for releases on Xbox. These need to be games where you're like, I didn't expect that to release on Xbox. So, this is any of your, like, you know when Danganronpa showed up on Game Pass? Those are those kind of moments where you're like, I didn't expect if Persona showed up on Xbox, that would count, right? It's one of those ones where you're like, I don't necessarily expect that on Xbox.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm gonna pass on this one though.
No, fair enough. Kyle?
What's the bar?
3.
3?
It's quite a high one. You know what Xbox is like?
No, I don't. I don't pay attention to Xbox.
There you go. Well, you know what they're like.
Pass.
Nope, that's fair enough. I'm gonna put one. I'm gonna put one on no because I feel like there'll be 1 or 2. Okay, here's one. 2-1 odds. Phil Spencer will say best place to play at least once. I feel like this is the thing that he says at every fucking conference is making sure Xbox is the best place to play. So it's as simple as that. Will he say it? He says it every time he shows up anywhere. Will Phil Spencer say best place to play? Or something along those lines. If he says something about Xbox being the best something, like, or like best community to play, or like something like that, you get the point. But again, also
I'll pass on this one.
Yeah, fair enough. Kyle?
2-1, yes.
2-1, yes. Okay,
that's a fair choice. I feel like it is a slam dunk. I just
he always
don't
does
want to take it.
Okay, next one. 3-1 odds. Even though the acquisition hasn't gone through, 2 Activision games will show up at the event. Now, I think I'm just going to go through this because I know this will be harder for Kyle. I think that this is a very risky bet, and I know what you think. 3-1 odds on just 2 games, dude. Activision doesn't release 2 games, dude. They have Call of Duty, so if they pull another one out of their hat, that's a miracle. And Call of Duty's already showing up at Keighley, so that's why I think it's a risky bet.
Personally. I wouldn't put it past the Xbox thing to double dip on Call of Duty. To be fair,
but does PlayStation have the advertising deal still?
Oh,
that's the real question.
Right.
And if not, that means they'd have to show like Diablo or Overwatch 2 or Crash Bandicoot.
Wumpa League on Xbox.
The Dragon who?
Skylanders.
I personally would pass on that one, to be honest.
I'll pass on that one.
Yeah.
Fine. This one, no one's going to go for this one, but I had to put it in there again to make people angry. 8-1 odds, biggest odds of the event.
Odds? Oh, baby.
Banjo returns, 8-1 odds, please.
Oh, God.
Just want to make it clear how little there is a chance of Banjo coming back ever, dude. Literally, Sakurai brought him back for a fucking goodbye tour in Smash, and that's it. Dude. It was literally all the icons of gaming were saluted him. Yeah, Activision were just saluted, like, yeah, literally everyone was just saluted him in Smash Bros. As he went to his fucking grave. They were like, goodbye. You're also the worst character in the Fighters Pass. Salut. See you next time, Banjo. Anyway, when I say worst, I mean Meta Hunter, not in terms of.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I liked Banjo more than like.
No, he's definitely, but I think he's like one of the worst in terms of. Meta. Anyone going for that?
Meta?
Anyone
no,
going
I'll
for
pass.
That? No. Kyle.
There's a part of me that really wants to, but I'm gonna pass.
I'm putting one
mostly
on no
because I forget how many dollars I have.
Yeah, it's just an easy 8 points. I'm going to put one on no. Stay hating, kids. Stay hating. Okay. Right, Hunter, you only used 4 points in that game, in that round. So you still have 13 points.
Oh, cool.
Kyle, you only used 1 point in that entire round. So you still have 14 points. Yeah, you only did Todd Howard.
What the fuck?
Oh, no, you put 2 on Phil Spencer, didn't you? Sorry, I put you in the wrong column.
Yeah, something sounds wrong here.
Add 2 to you. Hunter, you only used 2 points, sorry, so that's 15 for you.
Oh,
and Cal, you used 3, which, what were you on before, Cal? 15 points, and now you're on...
I don't remember.
13 points.
You said you were keeping track of all this?
I'll just recount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. You've used 18, which means you are on 12 points. I can't count.
You guys are getting a preview for how he counts the beans in Fall Guys.
1 bean,
I'm
2
fucked.
beans. Ezio, wow.
Ezio.
Anyway.
So I'm at 15.
Right, so you have 15 points, Kyle has 12, I have 11.
Cool. Perfect.
And it's kind of perfect, Kyle. You could bet on all of these still because there are 12 of them. But you don't have to.
Put them all on Fighters Pass 3.
Okay. Oh, did you have any bets for Xbox? I didn't, Hunter. Do you have any predictions for
Xbox? I don't have anything interesting. I was just kind of
everything will be dated to 2023. I think Hellblade.
I was spitting nonsense. I was like Starfield, a new locked in date if they're feeling particularly silly.
I don't think they will.
Another silly Sea of Thieves update.
Yeah, probably. I feel like Forza might show up.
Yeah, I had the other Forza game, and then that was it.
I think maybe Avowed might also get a 2023 date as well.
I had Avowed no date in the notes there.
Okay.
Just because I don't know where they want to put that.
No, that's fair enough. Right then, Nintendo. Time for everybody's fan boner to get hard because it's Nintendo talk time, boys. Let's go. Everyone loves Nintendo. Anyway, first 2-1 odds. You ready? Start with where we feel comfortable. The Xenoblade 3 trailer will reveal far more than is necessary, boys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a 2-1 odds. I will obviously, as soon as that comes on, I will be like, nah, I can't hear you, and walk away. So you'll have to be the deciders on this one, boys. But will they?
This is going to be fun to tabulate if no one watches this trailer.
But yeah, will you think it'll be more? Will it show more than you think is necessary in terms of story? They've done, I think, so far. I mean, I didn't see that second trailer, but from what I heard, I think they've done a good job so far of not ruining too much. I feel like we still don't know all that we need to know. We know bits and pieces, but all it takes is one trailer. Are you going for a yes, Kyle?
Yeah.
1 on yes?
I'm just saying, with the amount of shit that they're posting on their Twitter every morning at 5 a.m.
Okay.
Oh my god, it's like Hunter? The run up to Smash Bros. Brawl. Yeah, 1 on yes, please.
Yeah, we're all going 1 on yes on this one. I think we all have faith in Nintendo ruining a JRPG trailer.
Yep.
Next one. Also a 2-1 odds. The Mario Kart 8 DLC Pack 2 will be announced and will look underwhelming. So, this is the whole thing. Will they have taken the criticism from the first pass, guys, with the first part, or will they still look shit?
They definitely have all the tracks made already.
1 on yes. Okay.
Yeah, Kyle? I feel like they made those in bulk and are just staggering them.
I also think that these two are the easiest two.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 on yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We're all going 1 on yes on that one. Epic. Next one. 3-1 odds, boys. 3-1 odds. Is it time? Is it time, boys? Mario Odyssey 2 finally gets revealed. Is it time? And also, I'll specify, I will accept any 3D Mario game for this.
Yeah, all right.
It does not have to be Odyssey 2, but will it be? Because it's been like 5 years. Mm-hmm. They've got to have a Mario in the works, right? They've got to. But it is.
You would think so.
Is it an E3 announcement or is it a September announcement? Is this a Nintendo September announcement for next year, or is this a big E3? We fucking don't have Zelda still. We need to show something.
So the thing is, naturally, I would imagine that even if they announce it, it's further out than Zelda.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
but also remember, they announced Splatoon 3 like 19 months before it's coming out, so they're not afraid to announce.
They're not afraid to do that. That's true.
Not everything's a Xenoblade 3 where it gets announced and then released within 5-6 months. So it's like not everything's that. Sorry, 7 months, but same thing, same difference. Potato. Any takers for Mario? 3D Mario?
I'll say 1 on no.
Okay. Kyle?
I'm gonna pass.
That's fair enough. I'm gonna pass as well. Okay, here's one that's even riskier, but also to do with platformers. 4-1 odds, boys. You ready for this one? Donkey Kong returns to the third dimension, boys. This is it. Not 2D Donkey Kong.
Rumors, these two contradict each other.
yeah. But you could say no to Mario Odyssey 2 and say yes to Donkey Kong 3D. You could very easily do that.
I know. If I was absolutely insane, I could like no one say no to both. I could have said yes to both.
Will Donkey Kong return to the third dimension? If it's a 2D Donkey Kong, doesn't count. He has to be 3D. He has to be rolling around. There has to be a barrel that changes your cat. I'm kidding. That's not true. But
God, please.
I hope, man. There's no reason you should ever need to use that barrel again.
Yeah.
But hey, any takers from Donkey Kong Returns to the Third Dimension? Will he come back? Any takers?
One on yes. Let's go.
One on yes. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. I'm also going one on yes. I'm a believer.
Put one on no.
His coconut gun, Kyle.
His coconut gun is okay.
About his coconut gun.
It's also a coconut gun.
Okay. Next one. 3-1 odds. Again, boys. 3-1 odds. You ready for this one? It's about Splatoon 3. Splatoon 3's musical stars are a boy band. So obviously you had Callie and Marie in game 1. Then you had Off the Hook with Pearl and Marina in the second game. So my question to you guys is, will it be another pop duo, female pop duo? Or are they going to move to the K-pop boy band era? That's the real question.
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm also going to say no for one.
One no? Okay.
Because Splatoon 3 takes place in the apocalypse. And on principle, if K-pop still exists in the apocalypse, I'm going to be sad.
I'm going to put one on yes, because I think that K-pop will cause the apocalypse, personally. So,
the K-apocalypse.
Okay, you know what? That's fair. I didn't
think about it like that. If it's a boy band, I just have a feeling that if they're going to, I feel, my personal opinion is they're going to probably be rock, kind of. They're probably going to be rock stars, is my kind of idea. Is they're probably going to be leather jackets.
That's a bit different than a boy band.
Well, I'm saying when I say boy band, I just mean, are they guys? Is what I'm saying. Are they guys or are they girls? I will if they're guys and they're in a metal band, I'll be I'll take that as a yes. I'm just taking it. We've had a female duo twice, so my question is, are they going for the trifecta?
That changes my perception of the question, and I will change my answer to one on yes.
Okay.
Because that seems like something I could imagine, this kind of grungy punk group being your mascot.
Yeah, like a pop punk kind of Paramore looking ass band.
Yeah.
Also, if it's a guy and a girl, that's also a no. It has to be both.
I was about to posit the question of what if it's a mix of 3 dudes and the token female.
If it's three dudes and a token female like Paramore, then that'll be a no. Although I guess I guess Paramore is 1 female and 3 token males. So I guess that's because Hayley Williams is Paramore. So but okay, that's fair enough. Next one, 4-1 odds. Big boy odds on this one, please. Breath of the Wild 2 is coming in March. Again, is it too early to solidify a date?
No, I'll take 3 for yes on this one.
3 for yes, okay.
I believe in the 3-3-23.
I also believe in 3-3-23, but I'm going to put 2 on no. Because I am strongly of the belief that that'll be in the September Direct. I think it's got a point, too early.
But I already said it, so I'm committed.
It's a bit of a risk. Kyle, are you partaking in the Zlelda?
I'm gonna pass.
Okay.
Boo.
That's fine.
Hunter, I forgot how many points I have.
You still have 8 points, Kyle. You still have 8 points. Hunter, you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Attention right now.
You have 7 points left, Hunter.
I have 7. Cool.
Yep.
How many questions are left?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 6.
Cool.
And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh shit! I only have 5 left. Anyway.
Oh no. Wait, did you say I have 8?
Yes.
You do.
Ethan, I'm sorry. I'm barely paying attention.
It's fine. You're just going to have to do a couple of...
You have 8 left, and there are 6.
You have 8 and there's 6 left, so...
Okay.
If you want to do one on Breath of the Wild 2, you can. If you want to, that's up to you. I've not locked you out of that bet yet. If you want to come back for that bet, you can still pass.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll wait.
Okay, fair enough. Next one. 2-1 odds. Mario and Rabbids is delayed out of 2022.
I can 100% see that happening. Yes,
I honestly. Yeah.
1 for yes. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Ubisoft just doesn't have anything that is coming out
skip that one.
for the foreseeable future. It's like, oh, these are coming someday.
Everything from Ubisoft just seems to be gone. Like they're just like we're doing stuff.
Everything has become beyond good and evil.
It feels like Ubisoft is just gone at this point.
Yeah, because they released all their games in the second half of 2021, and then poof, everything else has been delayed. So yeah, they really shouldn't have rushed out Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed within the same 2 weeks. They shouldn't have done that because
maybe they shouldn't have. Maybe they should have held on to the Gods and Monsters.
Yeah, maybe that also came out in the same 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They should have released just Assassin's Creed and then put Immortals: Phoenix Rising in the spring, and then saved Watch Dogs for like this summer or autumn. That game needed a lot of time in the oven because it was not particularly great. Anyway, next one. This one's slightly higher, 3-1 odds. Bayonetta 3 is delayed out of 2022.
You know,
if they had, this will be where we find out if it comes out this year or not. This is it.
Yeah, it's true.
Is it coming out? Is it not? What we doing, boys?
2
Any takers?
on yes.
2 on yes? You believe it's being pushed out? Just to confirm.
I do.
Okay. Hunter?
I'll put 1 on no.
I'm also going to put 1 on no because I really want next year to be a year when Nintendo has nothing. So, fingers crossed. That's fair. Okay.
I mean, they weren't beneath having Animal Crossing carry them for an entire year. If Zelda comes out, they'll just let that be their thing for the whole year.
Especially if they're going to do a Switch refresh like the year after.
In like a big indie game to carry up the back end like Supergiant did in 2020.
Yeah, true. Anyway, next one, 5-1 odds.
Oh baby.
Metroid Prime 4 returns. Remember?
I will put 2 down on no for that.
Okay, that's fair. Kyle?
I'm gonna pass.
Okay, I'm gonna put 1 down on no. So we're down to the final 3, and I'll tell you how many points we each have. I have 3. Hunter, you still have 1, 2, 3. You have 3 points as well. And Kyle, you have
I think I have 5.
5.
Look
who starts paying
you better hope that these 3 are good, Kyle, because you've put at least one of these into a 2 situation. 2 of them into a 2 situation, potentially. Anyway, next one.
No, I'll just dump 5 into one of them.
6-1 odds, boys.
Oh, here it is. Let's go.
Oh, baby.
Arms 2. Who's ready for Arms, baby? It's coming back. Min was such a success in Smash. They're bringing it back, baby. Let's go. 6-1 odds. Who wants Arms 2? I know I do. I want Arms 2. So
I'm gonna put 1 on no for this, not because I'm necessarily anti-arms. I just don't think that
you're an arms hater. You're a legs fan.
No, I would love
fucking
for
Team Arms, baby. Fuck all my homies hate Team Legs, bro. Fuck you, Team Legs. I
don't
need legs. I need arms.
Inherently biased, but I would love for Arms to get at least 3 more games because the forearm joke I can make when they get to installment number 4 is going.
Honestly, I feel like I know we're all joking. I know it's a bit of a meme one, but I do feel like they are gonna make another Arms because Arms did really well for a new IP from Nintendo. And they made fucking 3 Splatoons, and that released on the Wii U. So it's like, I feel like
you see, it's not necessarily that I don't think that they're gonna do it. I just don't think that they're gonna do it yet.
No, I also agree with you. I'm also gonna put one on no. But I think the reason for that, you're gonna put one on no as well, Kyle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that means you've got one of these next 2. You're gonna have to put big on. Anyway, it's fine. But yeah, I just feel like that's a perfect. If they do like a Switch 2.0, they do like the big refresh upgrade. I feel like that's the kind of game where they'll be like, yeah, we're doing another ARMS, guys. And it'll be available on the old Switch, but it'll also be on the new Switch as well. You know, when they do like that iPhone refresh that I assume the next Switch generation will be. So that's fine. We're both down to 2. Cal, you still have 4 points to work with here. You could keep one in the bank and have a head start automatically if you wanted to, but you know.
Oh.
If you don't invest, then
I hear that, Hunter? Stonks.
Dude. Okay.
Lay chonks.
This next one, 3-1 odds. Wait, 3-1 odds. You ready for this? Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are 2 separate releases. This means that you'll be paying full price or $40 each for each of them, and they are not a dual pack. If they are announced as a dual pack, that is a no. If they are released separately, even if they're cheaper than full price, if they are separate, you have to buy both.
If you have to purchase both of them on their own.
That's a no. Also, if they do a Pokemon where they bundle them together in a pack, but you can buy them both individually, that also counts as a no. If they are released separately in any way, shape, or form, it is a no. Except for digital. If it's physical, 1 pack, and then you can buy them both separately digital, I'll count that as a 2-pack. They'll be based on physical.
I was about to posit the question, what if it's like 30 for each one of them? And
if they're still separate, if they are not together, then it is a release separately. Because I think a load of people think they're going to be in the same box and on the same cartridge or something. So I'm very much positive that it'll count.
I forget I forget the actual like verbiage of the question now. Could you repeat
Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are 2 separate releases. Okay, so they will be released individually. One on yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Because Nintendo is silly.
Yes. They are.
I'm gonna put 2 down on yes.
That's fair. I'm also going to put 1 down on yes, because I think that you are fucking crazy if you think they release Skyward Sword on its own and they're not going to put Wind Waker and Twilight Princess together. Are you ludicrous?
One of my notes for this was Nintendo announces a Wind Waker release as a peace offering for not having Breath of the Wild 2 this year, and they hold on to Twilight Princess for when they don't have it next year.
Just every time they fucking literally, it's like every time that they fail, they like pull up. They do like the fucking like, you know, like the bodyguard at the door meme. They just pull up and they're like, "I'm sorry, you can't enter. No Breath of the Wild 2. Here, have a Wind Waker. Here, have a Twilight Princess."
Specifically Wind Waker this year because it's like the game's 10th anniversary or something.
Doug Bowers is just sitting there in the corner going, "We're running out of Zelda games to give them. What are we gonna do?" They're like, "Don't worry.
Hurry,
by the time
Link's Awakening team, remake Link to the Past."
That's what they're thinking. They're like, "Don't worry. By the time that we've given them Twilight Princess as well, we'll have the other team that did Link's Awakening have them remake another one. It's fine. We can keep this going for a while, boys. Breath of the Wild 2 doesn't exist. It's a conspiracy, I swear." Anyway, final one. 3-1 odds. Another sport, bar golf, is announced for Switch Sport. Obviously, we know Switch Sports is coming this autumn. The golf is. Are they going to announce something on top of that? With how well it's sold, for how mediocre of a video game it is, will there be more than one additional sport? And would they announce it now? After a lukewarm reception, will they try and do this to appease the fans of Switch Sports? Or will they do a Nintendo and just go, eh?
I feel like if it was in the cards, I'll put one on yes for this.
Okay, interesting. Kyle?
I'll put the rest of my money on no.
2 on no. That's fair. I will also put 1 on no because Nintendo hates putting effort into games. So
yeah.
It's true, but also I feel like a lot of times, especially with, I guess, thinking about, the Mario sports games, it seems like regardless of how well those did or who cared about them, that they were going to get their updates.
Yeah.
They were going to get their updates regardless, and I feel
100%.
like that's probably
I would not be surprised if they do a thing where they're like, new outfits are coming to Switch Sports, and then they're like, look at all these cosmetics that are being added in an update. Golf is coming out in October, and then this is something to look forward to in the future, and then they show whatever the next sport is, and it's fucking
jet skis.
Yeah.
Dodgeball.
It's fucking air hockey, dude. Like, there you go.
Air hockey.
It's Ludo.
It's Ludo.
In real life, dude.
Oh my god.
16 players, dude. You're all on a team. Hope you're not at the back because you're going to be waiting half an hour for your go. Anyway.
Man.
So there you go. They're all our bets. Did you have any other Nintendo bets, Hunter?
Let me see here. This is also mostly a bunch of spitting nonsense. I had, just because I was this was more silly and worth sharing though. Advance Wars with a new date for December.
I agree with that. 100%, yeah, I agree with that.
That's done, and I feel like their courtesy to the state of the world is only going to be extended so far.
No, I 100% agree. I think that they're just going to slot it in December because that's the only month they have free in my head, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think September Splatoon, October, we don't know what October is. Some people like maybe that's Mario.
That's
Rabbids
what I said. That's
when
Bayonetta is going to be.
And then November's obviously Pokemon, and then December Advanced Wars. Maybe Advanced Wars will be October. I don't know.
I had what is it here? A new Punch-Out game with Captain Falcon as a super boss. You know how they have like Donkey Kong and the one for the Wii. Captain Falcon would be that one. Is advertised. I don't know if they advertised Donkey Kong, but they'd advertise Captain Falcon because why wouldn't you? I already said the Wind Waker thing. Similar to the Punch-Out thing. A new wave race game.
Oh god.
I don't know why, but just because it seems like something would be like, who asked for this? And then it'd be here anyway.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
One of my ones, which was just kind of I don't know why I said this, but I'm expecting most of the announcements to be 2023 games, just because I feel like we already know this year quite well. That was my thing.
Yeah.
Was if they're going to do an E3 show?
Company that we know things.
They're probably, yeah, exactly. Well, we know what Microsoft's got coming in 2024 and 2025, but we don't know what they've got near because everything just keeps getting pushed. But Sony, we have no clue anything. But Nintendo, we have a good idea of what this entire year is now already. Never mind anything else. So that was one of them. Like I say, I do believe that either Bayonetta or Mario Rabbids, I think one of them is going to get delayed. I don't know which one.
Oh, this was a funny one that's been mostly inspired by our conversations throughout the past couple of weeks. A very messy Scarlet Nexus port in a sizzle reel.
Oh, no. Tragic. I hope it's Cloud. It'll probably be a Cloud port, won't it?
Yeah, probably. Like, it's one of these, like, it's another one of those, like, seems like a weird thing to get, like the Guardians of the Galaxy or something like that.
Oh yeah, and something like, tragic like that.
Namco Bandai likes putting things places, so you know, especially like after it seems like they would have been like I remember Dragon Ball Z Kakarot being at the one last year for no reason.
I remember that. That was weird.
Oh, my
so I
one
could see that being a thing like that.
My one from Ubisoft was I had one for Ubisoft, which was they're either going to port the original Assassin's Creed, because it's the only feasible Assassin's Creed they have left to port to Nintendo Switch, because all the other ones they're basically fucked with, or they're the next people to start the cloud gaming bullshit, and one of the new Assassin's Creeds will be available, like Valhalla or something, they'll be available to cloud stream.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Which sounds tragic.
Tried to do that. Yeah, that sounds.
But that sounds like a Ubisoft kind of thing. I also wanted to say, just because I feel like they're gonna do it at some point. Like, I don't think it's now, but I feel like we're talking about Immortals. I feel like Immortals is probably gonna come back because it did better than they thought it would. So. Like I think it's too early.
Or you think?
Yeah, like a sequel or more DLC. If it was in this direct, it'd be DLC. But I think they are going to do a sequel. But I also think they want to stay clear of Breath of the Wild 2 for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say, imagine Breath of the Wild 2 getting a trailer, and then you throw in like, "Oh, Immortals: Phoenix Rising is here." Be like, nah.
I also have a prediction. This is my prediction. Also, I wanted to put this one down as well. If Atlas did not show Persona, this is very specific. If they did not show Persona at Jeff Keighley or at Xbox, I hope it's Persona 4. So the one fucker on Persona that keeps begging for Persona 5 on Switch gets mad. That's my prediction for Nintendo. That's like a exclusionary clause. Funny. Like it's like an if statement. Like. If Jeff Keighley and Xbox equals 0, fucking Persona equals 4 on Switch. That's my, statement, dude. Just because I really want those, 3 Nintendo fans that keep showing up on Twitter under every reply saying, we want Persona 5 on Switch, to fuck off. So there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's it. I can't think of anything else.
That is about all I got.
Yeah. Let us know what your guys' predictions are as well. If you played at home with our little bets, let us know. Do you think that Donkey Kong's going to return to the third dimension? Let us know. I just like him to return to any dimension, really, because he hasn't seen anything since Tropical Freeze.
Yeah. And that was back on the Wii U.
Yeah, it was a while.
Oh, jeez.
It was a while ago. But no. Anyway, I guess that's it. So our links are on screen right now. As always, you can go and follow us on Twitter if you want to keep up to date with everything that we do outside of the podcast. I don't know if we're going to do... we can't really do much reaction stuff because work and stuff like that. Game Fest takes place when you guys are at work, so it'll be just me and I'm not sitting here recording myself for 2 hours.
No, that's a bunch of pain.
Maybe, I don't know.
What day is the Xbox one?
Sunday. So that's the only one we could feasibly do. Maybe Nintendo if they do it at a reasonable time, but they never really do. I feel like that's also in the morning usually, isn't it? So
yeah, Nintendo's also always when I'm at work. I always have to read them.
Yeah.
If not, I'm sure we'll do a update impressions on the show anyway.
Yeah, did E3 suck?
Yeah, did Probably. E3 suck?
Yes.
Did Key 3 suck? Let's find out. But yeah, so you can keep up to date with us on Twitter, where we'll probably be ranting about all the terrible announcements, or we'll talk about it on the podcast. Yeah, that's good. But hey, if you don't want to keep up to date with just us, that's cool too. You can go and follow us on Twitter at HotGamersOnly, or subscribe to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/HotGamersOnly. And hey, if you don't want to look at our stupid faces, that's cool too. You can head to the link in the description or search for Hot Gamers Only on your favourite podcast service, like Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And I don't know why. I said Hot Gamers Only. Like, what the fuck is that?
Oh.
I was just like...
that's the OnlyFans.
Oh, no. I was just making it... Oh, you had to make it horrible.
Everybody.
You had to make it horrible. I was just going to make fun of the fact that I stuttered like I always do. And then you're like, no, time to make it horrible.
What if horny?
Oh, God, I did not want to know that. That's... God. That's a horrible way to end the show.
Well, now it's on the internet forever.
Oh, well. Should be used to it. If you are a 2-hour Andy...
We just got demonetized.
Yeah, if you're a 2-hour Andy, then...
I'm not OnlyFans.
You're probably an audio listener, and for that we respect you, and thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
You audio listeners are great. You've been doing great on the podcast recently. You guys have been showing up to every single episode that we've been doing on podcast. So thank you. You guys are showing up. If you can tell your video brothers and sisters to do the same, that'd be epic. Thank you. Anyway, That's been a show anyway, regardless.
The video guys really liked the PlayStation episode.
They really did, and it's funny because Audio really liked all the past 5 episodes, so, you know, it's like...
Yeah.
All the audio homies, they know what's up, dude. They know what's up. They like quality content. Yeah, they like quality content. Maybe we should cater to you guys more. It's all good, though. Anyway, we're rambling. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for listening / watching. We'll be back next week for all the goodness of the tragedy that is yet to unfold. But until then, have an awesome week. The tragedy
of video games.
The tragedy of video games, yeah. Where we sit there and go, no games? Like, as
we see if Hunter leaves the podcast forever.
Trust me, he's not getting out of his contract that easily. Anyway,
I'll have to like come back in one of my masks as Evil Hunter.
Yeah, exactly. No. Yeah, Hunter. Like we'll just spell it
Hunter,
like the Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, we'll be back same time, same place next week for more. But until then, have an awesome week, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.
Toodaloo.